fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Jacob Wile, too.
And welcome to the return of DuckTales with the long-awaited episode, Whatever Happened to Donald Duck? That's right, Jacob. We're living in a post-Duck Knight Rises world, my friend.
Duck Knight Rises?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Duck Knight Returns. I'm getting my Duck Batman puns mixed up. God, my bad. That's embarrassing.
It's fair enough.
Duckman Begins.
Yes.
Darkwing and Robin.
Wait, Duckman was actually a TV show.
I know. I was just thinking. Anyways. All right. So yeah, Jacob. It's been we've had the summer to kind of mule over the show and where it's at. And I gotta say, this episode is pretty solid. I'm not jumping up and down about it. And honestly, I do not quite know what to make of like where the show's going in the future, because this episode, I think, kind of like very much self-awarely pointed out, like, what are we gonna do? Just have another big overarching grand mystery? And I don't know, I feel like this show is kind of like self-aware about the fact that it might have already told its best story. And I'm kind of worried about that, Jacob. I gotta say. That gives me a little bit of pause.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from on there. I think it'd be kind of I feel like it would have made kind of interesting to like save the whole thing to like the finale of the season.
But the whole thing with the moon?
And Della returning to Earth and Donald going to space.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. Because I do think that there is definitely more story to tell with the moon. And I don't think that story's done by a long shot. I think the moon is going to be the big storyline. The moon people trying to conquer Earth is going to be the big storyline of season 2. But yeah, I don't know. It's because I do think season 1 was, of course, all about the mystery of Della, and we pretty much achieved that. So it's just the weird thing is this episode was maybe a little bit too good at pointing out the flaws of its own storytelling. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm watching this episode and I'm like, oh my god, they're right. It is like this show is just a series of like complicated, networks of mysteries and objects strewn together. It's just like it does kind of spin its wheels a little bit.
Yep. It's like pointing out exactly what it is. I mean, for some places, self-aware humor does work, and it's not exactly like it's at fault here. I mean, this show has proven that it doesn't necessarily need long, overarching mysteries to actually be engaging and interesting. I mean, it doesn't really need like long Della-style mysteries.
Doesn't need it, but I do think that
admittedly, that was one of the strengths of the early episodes.
Yeah. Okay, just want to point some people out in the comments. We have, of course, Pink Pearl. Hey there, Pink Pearl.
Nice to see you again, Pink Pearl.
And also, we have someone I haven't seen before, so welcome if this is your first time on the channel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Claude Karinga. I'm probably butchering that, but he says, does this episode hint about the Duck Avenger coming into the series? Jacob, do you know anything about that?
I think the Duck Avenger, like in the comic and like certain comics, is like Donald Duck's like superhero alter ego.
Okay.
Like in Italian, like in like other countries, and like Paparinic, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I don't know how to pronounce that name. But it's like one of Donald's superhero alter egos.
I
think it's more familiar in other countries than it is in the United States. But I mean, I don't really know too much about it. But it's something that Donald Duck's known for.
I think, if anything, this episode maybe hinted at Donald being able to weaponize his anger.
Yeah, I mean, look what he was able to do at the end.
It's very much kind of like a Mark Ruffalo, like, That's the thing, Cap.
I
I'm
mean,
always angry.
what better way to control your no better way to control your anger than to always be angry. At least that's done and done. And I like it, and I kind of like the whole thing with Donald at the end too, with like how like they like rationalized his anger in this show.
That was really well done, and I like the way that it was really well directed. How we had the anger management teacher. Remind me his name.
Uh, Mr. Jones, I think, or Jones.
Jones, yes. We had Jones talking, explaining it as we see Donald, in the grips of the anger with his red face, like we see here. That was really well done, kind of like seeing how he's doing it while we're hearing it explained.
Like how it channeled his anger from like he initially thought the world was out to get him, which in that case, in many ways, it still is.
Mhm.
As like, which explains why he's on the moon because even two planets are out to get him now. Because the moon is a planet now, apparently.
Apparently, yes, yes.
two two worlds are out to get him, apparently. But how he channeled that when how he basically channeled that anger into parental protectiveness.
Yeah, so that was really well done. Suffice to say, Jacob, I think probably my out of the two storylines, I really didn't care that much for the Dewey and Webby stuff. I think probably the best scene was the Huey interrogation.
And it's like I just told you what it was.
I love the way that Dewey refashioned the Dewey Do Night sign into a detective.
Dewey detective tonight.
That was you noticed that, right? It was like the same moon and everything. He just repurposed the sign.
You have like detective do night, I guess.
That was great. That was great.
I remember that episode. It wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but that was like one of the best parts.
What, the Dewey Do Night?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, just Dewey's creativity is definitely the reason why he's my favorite of the three nephews on the show. And also, Rob knows this, and he bought me a plush doll for my birthday. So thank you, Monkey. Anyway. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk about the Moon People. So Claude Coringa and Claude, by all means, correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He says, "I have a feeling that Penumbra will become the new general of the Moon People after Lunaris's defeat." And I
I mean,
think that there's more story to tell with Lunaris. What do you think?
it's entirely possible that if he's defeated, like at the end of the season, rather than just or if his truth is revealed, like you can either go one of two routes. Like either, I doubt he's gonna die because they didn't even kill Magica at the end of season one. So I don't know if they're gonna actually kill him. I mean, I don't know if the show would shy away from that kind of thing. So, if he doesn't die and they do find him out, he'd probably at least be exiled and run away, then plot his revenge. And I could potentially see like Lunaris become like Penumbra becoming the new leader of the Moon People.
Uh, but the interesting thing is that, of course, I think Penumbra is an ally at this point.
Yeah, she didn't like the planet, like planet Earth, but I don't think she's not willing. I don't think she's wanting to send all her people to fight a war that they might easily lose, or just unnecessary sacrifice.
I like how she kind of came around on Della, like like Della was my friend, roommate by chance sort of situation.
Actually, it
It's
was more like it was more like an unlikely roommate kind of. Yeah.
uh, okay. Hold on.
So
No spoilers, please, Pink. I would prefer to stay spoiler free. I apologize if you got out, but I'm trying to kind of like not see anything.
what happened?
Anyways, Pink Pearl Apple saying that there's a spoiler that got out that the fans are kind of going crazy over, and I really don't want to know it. So,
I don't
yeah.
know. Well, I don't even know.
Yeah, I tend to kind of like stay out of the fan discussions for fear of spoilers. So, okay, because I know especially in animation, this kind of stuff gets leaked all the time. I know Steven Universe was really bad when it came to spoilers and leaks. Um, Okay, anyways, so what do you think of just Penumbra and Lunaris as kind of like the opposing forces on the moon? I like the fact that like at the end of this episode we have the dude who is clearly like I don't think Lunaris has the same kind of presence as someone like Magica or honestly even Mark Beeks. Where is Mark Beeks? I miss Mark Beeks. Anyways, but he is still he's imposing. You know what I mean? He's no nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of penchant for like humor either.
That yeah, that's kind of like why I'm not crazy about him is that he's kind of like a flat personality.
Then like, I mean, we might know more about him later on, but pretty much all it's real like he lived like his father instilled a fear of the earth in him, and that's about it.
Hmm. Like I said, Penumbra has probably more potential to be a more fledged out character. I really do hope that eventually she, maybe comes to Earth. My prediction is not so much that she becomes the general of the moon, but more that she kind of joins the Earth forces.
I mean, that'd be pretty interesting too. I think she was on the season 3 poster. I think.
Oh, really?
I
Cool,
mean, I
cool.
could be wrong. I need to look that up here. I mean, I think she might be playing Bird. I could be wrong,
Uh-huh.
but I wouldn't be opposed to her becoming a more fleshed out character.
Let's see. Claude raises an interesting theory. He says, I have a feeling that Scrooge and his family would have to work together with the other villains to defeat Linares and the Moon People. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. We have Magica. We know that Magica is going to come into play.
Yeah, oh yeah, there is this, oh yeah, I'm looking at the season 3 poster. She's on it, so she's definitely gonna be back in season 3.
Ma Beagle, I could see them teaming up with. Mark Beeks, I could see them teaming up with.
I can kind of see like some of them trying Glomgold trying to buy some of them, and like be it like make like a DuckTales version like the Sinister Six or something.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Also, I love this idea, Pink Pearl. Please do it, and I will definitely screen share it on the channel. She has an idea to draw Mark Beeks and Jose fighting. Pirates are territorial and kind of violent if one is aggressive. Thanks for mentioning Mark. Yeah, you're welcome, Pink Pearl, and I love that idea for art. Please, by all means, I would love to see that. That would be great.
I vote for Jose.
Oh, Jose would kick Mark's ass for sure.
I mean, he's a caballero.
Anywho, okay. So Jacob, I'm surprised that almost 15 minutes in and we haven't mentioned this yet, but yeah, I think probably the strongest part of this episode is just the cartoon antics of Donald Duck with his mouth ironed shut. I mean, that is just worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, it's like basically. I mean, you can tell what's going on with him without him even doing anything. Like having his
Great,
mouth.
it's great.
It's like for once Donald Duck isn't saying anything, and he's but they just emote. He just emotes so well with it anyway. Like, and especially when he's like doing that scene where he's like trying to get that moon scorpion off of all those guards.
That moon scorpion very much reminded me. I think we've probably already talked about this, but the design of the scorpions kind of calls to mind the design of the scorpions from Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Who knows? That might be what it is, or reference to.
Yeah, I could see that because the show is definitely very self-referential.
Considering how many throwbacks this show has.
Ugh.
I mean,
Go ahead.
considering how many throwbacks this show has, it wouldn't be surprising if they took inspiration from that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Let's see. So yeah, and with Donald, I really do like the build up to him finally speaking. Where he doesn't even talk; he just unleashes like noises. Like pissed off noises.
Yeah, his feathered fury, I guess. He's a feathered fury, I guess. I mean, basically, even with all that all that pent up things, he still no match for Lunaris. Lunaris is still pretty much outmatches Donald. Even like Donald like using all his anger to wail on him. But at least,
so pretty intimidating fight there.
Yep, and he's actually the good news is he's actually able to escape to Earth.
Yeah, that was kind of a relief for me. I'm glad that we didn't stretch out the Donald on the moon stuff too long.
Yeah. I mean, everybody still thinks he's on vacation. Everyone, like, when he's trying to warn them that it's coming in a month, that the invasion begins. Scrooge mishears the transmission.
Okay, I know that this isn't the case because obviously we're getting like a bunch of new episodes dropped on us all at once. But Jacob, how perfect would that have been for like a lead into a month-long hiatus? Like, like Scrooge being like, "Yeah, we'll see him in a month. He'll be back in a month." Would that have been perfect?
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, this should have been the episode where they left the hiatus off to begin with. Instead of the Duck Knight Returns,
No, absolutely. You're right. You're right about that. I'm glad you bring that up because Duck Knight Returns was just kind of like a nice, standalone nostalgic throwback and kind of like a celebration of that character. And this is more kind of like in line with the actual arc and dynamics and stakes of the show. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I do really like, especially with that line. I think it was kind of a mistake to not have that be a lead into the hiatus.
I mean, obviously, I think it was all due to like the way they schedule things. Like, they like to do 4 1 week and the 4 next week.
Well, yeah, sure, of course.
With Disney's odd airing schedule. We love your shows, but you have a very odd way of airing them.
Well, I mean, their airing schedule is the reason why we don't cover Milo Murphy or Star anymore. I mean, Star is over, and we got like a little over halfway through that show.
Yeah, we only did like a few episodes of season 3.
Yeah, that's kind of my bad, but also kind of Disney's bad.
And who knows what's happening with Milo Murphy? I mean, season 2's over with that, and nobody knows if
Oh dear, Milo Murphy was just a case of like bleh, episodes, bleh, episodes, vomit episodes, no build up at all.
Yeah, which is a shame, really. Hopefully, I mean, nobody knows it's even getting a 3rd season yet.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, Milo Murphy, look, at the end of the day, Milo Murphy wasn't exactly the most compelling show to, talk about on this level because it didn't have like a ton of reoccurring storylines or anything, but it was still a fun show. It deserves more than what it's getting.
I mean, it actually did have quite a few things going on as the series like went on. Like a lot of minor things kept creeping up here and there.
Hmm. All right, well, Jacob, is that about all you got to say about this episode, folks?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
there's not a ton to say here.
I mean, pretty much the only thing to say about the Dewey and Webby thing is that anger management thing at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they thought that it was like some kind of guy trying to extort Donald was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, it's like, anger management isn't free. I mean, I will admit that letter could have been a little less threatening.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, that is a little vague sounding from an anger management person, and it seems like the guy himself has some anger management issues.
All right,
So yeah, there's not much more for you to say about that. Like, obviously, the stuff on the moon with Donald is is probably like the best half of the episode.
yeah, because of all the great slapstick, it really kind of calls to mind, like, when animation is forced to be creative, then they can really use the medium to its advantage. And I feel like this is an example of that, where it's like when you take away Donald Duck's voice, then you have to get creative with it, and then we can really just see the results of that creativity.
And they really use it. It's like almost like a classic Donald short in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the stuff in a lot of
All right,
Donald
so
stuff
Jacob,
in this. Sorry.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like
No,
a lot
go
of
ahead.
a lot of the Donald stuff is evocative of a classic Donald cartoon. So
It is for sure, and I dig that about this episode. Yeah, definitely. All right, so Jacob, we're going to take the night off tomorrow night because I'm going to be seeing It chapter 2, and for some reason that movie is almost 3 hours long. So that's my evening in a nutshell. Are you going to be seeing It, Jacob?
mostly seeing what?
Oh God, don't start.
Sorry, but I mean, most likely. I mean, I'm probably not tomorrow, but because
But
I have
maybe you and I could do a spoiler cast on it when you do see it, though. Perhaps.
I mean, I'll probably see it on Friday. I don't have work on Friday, so most likely then.
Cool. Let's plan on it. But in the meantime, folks, we will be back on Friday, and on Friday we will try and crack out both Happy Birthday Doofus Drake as well as A Nightmare on Kill Motor Hill. Ooh, spooky.
I mean, let's face it. Happy Birthday Doofus Drake sounds scarier than Nightmare on Killmotor Hill.
It does. I won't. Unless A Nightmare on Killmotor Hill is a Duckworth's Ghost episode, Jacob.
Oh yeah, Duckworth's Ghost.
Oh God, don't get me started.
That gag's never gonna get old.
Oh, Duckworth's Ghost is just gonna haunt your dreams.
Oh yeah.
Jacob, we have to make a running joke out of every time we pass by the haunted mansion on our upcoming trip. We're gonna have to be like, "Oh, there's Duckworth's Ghost. Don't go near it." A horror.
You can do that after you show me the majesty of Chippendale's treehouse.
Oh dear, we have to do Chippendale's treehouse, Jacob. Oh my God.
You go upstairs and then downstairs.
You go upstairs and then downstairs. I mean, Jesus Christ, what more do you people fucking want?
Exactly. Oh jeez.
All right, Pink Pearl, we're about to wrap up, so thanks for coming on, and also big thanks to Claude Karinga. Again, hope I'm pronouncing your last name right there, Claude. Also, I want to point out, looking at the episode titles, I'm not going to go through them all, but one of them does sound amazing, Jacob. Episode 22, Glom Tales.
That might be the one I was just thinking of.
That sounds amazing. Pink Pearl, we're going to be going on our trip. I am going to be leaving on Saturday, September 14th, and then Jacob is going to be joining me on September 15th. We're going to be
16th.
Hitting up not 16th.
Yeah, Monday.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. We're going to be hitting up Knott's Berry Farm for 3 days, including a night at Knott's Scary Farm. And then we're also going to be hitting up Disneyland for a day and Magic Mountain for a day. So yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of big 5 days coming up there.
Tiki and Jacob's theme park extravaganza.
And Monkey will be there too.
And Monkey.
And Monkey.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And also Manny and Reef on the Disneyland day. And maybe, just maybe, some Just Giggle It people. I'm trying to make that happen. Can't make any promises, but maybe.
5-man theme park extravaganza.
Right. All right. Jacob, it's your first time at California as well, so I'm very excited about that.
Yes, my first time at any of these places.
Uh-huh.
Never been west of Indianapolis, so this will be
you're going to basically get the grand tour of the Southern California parks that I've been growing up with my whole life.
Yep.
Except Knott's, I just started going to a few years ago, but that doesn't really count. Although I've been to Knott's so many times in the past few years, so yeah.
Oh, should be fun.
Pink Pearl, I don't have any plans for hitting Disney World anytime soon. If anything, I do have plans to go to Orlando in March, but not to Disney World, to Universal. Basically for Orlando, we're playing. This is not a me and Jacob trip. Monkey might be there, but we're planning on doing 3 days at Universal Orlando, a day at SeaWorld, a day at Busch Gardens, and I've never been to SeaWorld or Busch Gardens, so I really want to go there, and especially for the coaster credits. And then the big thing that I'm trying to talk my grandma into doing is doing a 1-day park hopper at Disney World, where a 1-day park hopper at Disney World, where in the morning we go to Hollywood Studios just to do Rise of the Resistance at Star Wars Land, and then we park hop to Epcot for the rest of the day because Epcot is Epcot. So we might do that. But yeah, we're definitely not going to be there in November, though, unfortunately. But the 2-course challenge you're mentioning does sound interesting. I've never heard of the 2-course challenge, though. Is this an obstacle course or a course as in like courses of food? I assume it's the former, not the latter. All right. Yeah. Pink Pearl, yeah, we could talk about all the new stuff coming to Epcot. Like, we could sit here for a whole hour and talk about the new stuff coming to Epcot. By all means, I'm really excited about that. But I got to wrap up here. I got to eat some dinner. We're doing Dragon and I are going to record. Dragon is recording his first. Oh, it's a 5K run. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought it was an obstacle course. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, Brazil for the World Showcase. That's a long rumored pavilion. Very excited
and
about
and
that. Very excited to see that they're building up the World Showcase.
and also in England, also one for England.
Well, the UK's been there, Jacob. They're just
Oh, Mary
adding a Mary Poppins
Poppins.
ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
was talking
don't get
about
me wrong. I'm very excited about the Mary Poppins ride. I'm just saying the UK pavilion is already there.
Yeah, I know. I walked by it when I was at Epcot.
Yeah. That's where I met Mary Poppins. Anyways.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
I recognize that silhouette anywhere.
All right, we're just doing bad British accents at this point. Have a good
Well,
night, everyone.
well, I mean that's what Dick Van Dyke did.
A woo-hoo!
Woohoo!